And now, Giant Sports Talk Live. Here are your hosts, Eric and Glenn.
All right, welcome to Giant Sports Talk Live. Post-game, first game of the day, elimination game between the Detroit Tigers and the Cleveland Guardians. Detroit Tigers come out on ahead. They beat the Guardians 6-3. They advanced to the DS. Yeah, how about that? Went to the bullpen early. Cleveland did. Didn't quite work out for them. There may have been a little bit of fatigue. You're going to have to go out there 3 times in a row, and hey, sometimes it exposes some guys. But there you go, Glenn. You got the first game is in the books. Detroit advances.
Yeah, I don't know what it's like up your neck of the woods. Looked like another great day for baseball in both cities. The games, one has wrapped up, one is underway. Beautiful skies. Not a cloud in the sky here. The sun is shining, man. I'm not used to doing these afternoon shows with the sun coming right through my window, which is like 8 inches to my right here. And I got the Chardol look rocking today, which is kind of a bonus. A big day. It was kind of a letdown there in that first game. Eric, they went, as you said to me, you hit it on the head, went to the pen once too many times. And that's what's happening here. And I will point out, Eric, I was thinking about it just before we went to air. Short series, we all think about guys like Logan Webb and Robbie Ray. And, dude, it doesn't matter. You get in a short series. The key was Detroit had an ace. It's been an ace-like game. Game 1, that put them in the driver's seat. They end up winning. So pitching is the key factor, and they're not getting pitching today in Chicago. At least the San Diego Padres have already gone to the bullpen. They're only that was in the second inning, Eric.
He didn't even, I'm talking about Yu Darvish, did not even record an out in the second inning. Luckily, they only got away with giving up a couple of runs. So, man, yeah, they're already in the bullpen. The San Diego, their starting pitcher went 1 innings. Let's stick with that story. Saccone only went 2 1/3, and look at this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 relievers. 7 relievers, and 2 of the 7, they went a combined 2/3. Sabrowski goes a third, gives up 2 hits, 2 earned. Gaddis gives up 3 hits and 2 runs, and that's kind of what was the nail in the coffin, so to speak, with those 2 relievers. As you can see in the 7th inning, gave up a cricket number. Talking about the Guardians pitching.
Are you sure it was Mike Schilt? You sure it was Mike Schilt last night? Eric said, all hands on deck tomorrow. It might have been the Cleveland Guardians, all hands on deck. And same with the Detroit Tigers. They were throwing bullpen. Eric, bullpens. I said it to you the other day. This is what happens. And look, was it any surprise today that Mike Schilt came out and took Yu Darvish out early? I'm getting used to this. The guy can have a no-hitter in the second inning. And after, he threw a solid 2 innings, Eric, a solid 2 innings. Well, come on.
This is why you have to have a rotation, right? I mean, yes, it's good to have a bullpen. But if you don't have a guy that you can lean on for at least 5 innings, it makes it really tough. It does. I mean, let me ask you this, Eric.
Let me ask you this. Do you think the next thing we're going to see, and I think it's coming, dude. I think that one manager is going to do it. You look at a team who puts together a solid rotation, which we didn't have in San Francisco this year, so it wouldn't play out in our effect. But if you have a solid 5-man rotation that you can go to the well with, can you see the day coming where game 3 in an opening round features your 3rd best pitcher, your 4th pitcher comes in, maybe your 5th pitcher comes in, and then you use the pen? Do you think you think the day is coming when you're going to see starters come in relief like the Expos did in the 80s with Steve Rogers in a Costima series? I think managers are going to go back to that, and they're going to say, well, I'm rolling my number 4 out of the pen.
Yeah, and I guess it's up to the pitcher. Because look, if you're a starter your whole year, you're used to a quote unquote routine, yada yada yada. You hear this a lot. Once they go to the bullpen, it's hard for them to come out of the bullpen. Now, as a San Francisco Giants fan, we all know Madison Bumgarner in Game 7 of the 2014 World Series is able to do that for 5 innings. But that guy was special. But the point I'm trying to make, and I think you're kind of going along, have a rotation. Have a damn rotation. If you have a rotation that you can rely on, then you don't have to worry about going to the bullpen so much. Look, you had all these guys, I think, for the Cleveland bullpen. I think they all came out in every damn game. All your high leverage guys, Gaddis, Heron, Smith. I mean, you keep doing that. Sure. I mean, it might work for a little while, but my God, I would just like to see starting pitching go the distance. It just shows you, and then look, the Guardians had a fantastic ERA. They had the 4th best ERA in all of baseball this year. But when it came time to get it done in the playoffs, it fell by the wayside. Again, you only got so many games, and I can understand why Stephen Vogt decided to get Ciccone out of there. It's you lose, you go home, and he relied on his bullpen, and unfortunately, the bullpen. And look, and I'm not blaming Steve Vogt. You can only work with what you got. If the guys are tired, you got to go to somebody.
Right
so.
On. In the chat, Eric, let me bring this up. Philip, I think he's talking about bullpens. It's not abnormal to see these guys coming in and using the pen, especially in a 3 in an elimination game. But what is, on the flip side of that comment, what is abnormal, Eric, is when you've got arguably your 3rd best pitcher in your rotation going in a must-win game, and he can't get out of the 2nd inning. I find that very abnormal, Eric.
Well, let's talk about it, Philip. Let's talk about that. Madison Bumgarner, that was abnormal. Why? Because what was the Giants rotation looking like towards the end of the 2014 season? They had no starting pitching, man. They didn't. It was Madison Bumgarner or bust.
Mm-hmm.
Tim Hudson down the stretch started falling by the wayside. We saw it in the playoffs, and we saw it in Game 7 of the World Series. He only went 2 innings. Did he even go? Yeah, I think he went 2 innings, went up for the 3rd, and wasn't able to get it done. You got to have guys. Look, if you want to just go with Giants in 2010 and 2014, your pitchers went the distance. Tim Lincecum, Ryan Vogelsong, Matt Cain, Madison Bumgarner, they went the distance. You go 6 innings, and look, you're in a good damn position. For me, as a baseball fan, I want to see 2 guys, mano a mano, right? The starting pitchers, they're going at it.
Monday's game.
Best man wins, right? Yeah, and we saw that with the first game of the Guardians and the Tigers. Evan Williams and Tariq Skubal, fantastic. Red Sox Yankees, Max Fried and Crochet, fantastic. Those guys went the distance, man. That's what I love to see in playoff. I want to see some hard-nosed pitching. I'm just not a fan of, all right, here comes another pitcher out of the bullpen. Oh, here comes another fan. Oh, here. At the end of the game, I get it. That makes sense. But not in the 2nd and 3rd inning. Whatever.
That's why they call him an ace, Eric. When you are going to look at a pitcher and say he's truly an ace, he's paid, not necessarily for the regular season. He's got to do his job, get his wins. It's playoffs. Game 1, each round, postseason. You're paying him to come out and give you the win, Eric. He's got to perform. And we saw that in Game 1, like I mentioned. And then, you see, do you notice a trend here, Eric? The unders playing heavy on Monday. A little more in the run production on, or I call it Tuesday, the opening day. Tuesday. Yeah. Wednesday, yesterday, a few more runs. Today, 9 runs put up on the board in that game. You see what's happening? You're getting away from your ace pitcher. And I think once you can do that, get into somebody's bullpen in the postseason, Eric, it can pay dividends.
It can because you keep going there. They're not gonna be the same. I'm sorry, they're just not, because bullpen arms are used to not every single day. They'll come. Sometimes they'll go back to back, but you start going out there for 3-4 games straight, you're gonna have a problem.
And you can't argue with that statement that I've just made, Eric, because it was a heated topic of conversation last night. Everyone is of the belief, what happens if you get the later we go in the postseason, Eric? And I don't even have to look very far. Next round. What happens when you get to the Dodger bullpen, Eric?
There you go. The game's wide open. You get to the Dodger bullpen and it's wide open. And here's another thing you got to look at.
Yes.
Here's another thing you got to look at, especially when you start getting into the DS and the CS, and then of course the World Series. What is the effectiveness of the bullpen going to be if you keep seeing the same guys over and over and over, right? It's one thing in a regular season, right? You may have a 4-game series and you may see some of the same relievers. But if it's going to a game 7, it's a little bit different. You're seeing the bullpen guys a little bit more. Don't get me wrong. They still could be effective, but you got to be careful in the usage. No, you don't want to quote unquote shoot your shot, so to speak. And then when the time you need him the most, he may not be as effective. Again, it's strategy and it's all in how you want to win the game. And I can't fault managers for going out there and trying to put their team in the best position to win, right? You can't fault them.
Yeah.
You're trying to piece it together. It's you win or go home. So,
Philip, again, I think we've been complaining, all of us collectively, all year. Melvin was too long to go to the bullpen, right? It's an elimination game, and you can't afford to wait. Well, I think there's a different issue at hand here, Eric. Teams like the San Francisco Giants, they had Bob Melvin in a bit of a pickle. I mean, he certainly didn't have the bullpen to work with in the first place, Eric. You think if you're a postseason team, that should not be an issue. There shouldn't be that logistical fear of going down to your pen.
Right.
By the way, do you know why the bullpen is called the bullpen?
Why is it? Let me hear.
Because back in the early 1900s, could have been late 1800s, all the cigarette signs, bullpen cigarettes, were always out where the pitchers would warm up to come into a game. Thus, bullpen cigarettes became the bullpen.
Hey, well, there you go. Learn something every damn day.
I learned that from the baseball.
You're right. And look, it works. Or I should say it can work. Not in all situations. You got to have the right guys, and they all got to be ready to go. There's no doubt about it. The Dodgers did win the World Series last year because of their bullpen, because their starting pitching was horrible. It was horrible. But, hey, let's see what happens, man. Let's see how it all pans out. Unfortunately, I picked the Guardians to win today. They did not. But, hey, it's baseball. You never know.
I think you were picking with your heart, though.
No, I thought they would.
Did you really think they would win?
Jack Flaherty, he's not like exactly. He wasn't
Flaherty.
He wasn't exactly an ace this year, but hey, he did enough to get it done. And that's why, to a certain extent, you got to throw out the regular season, because when it's the postseason, some guys lock in. Some guys crumble under the pressure. It just, you never know, man.
And we'll see what happens with the creativity of people in the bullpen, Eric, and managers, I should say. Last night, we saw Roki Sasaki committee. It was a closing effort, and he locked it down. You can get a guy who he's a rookie, didn't get to play much. He was injured early. He was shut down, Eric. He was shut down. So he's certainly not tired. He's ready to rock and roll. I mean, does this create somewhat of a legacy for a rookie pitcher who came over here? You're paying him huge dollars. Maybe he steps into that role. So to criticize the Dodger bullpen, I think it's just a little bit too early. The Dodgers are what they are. We know what they are. If they can pull the pin on the grenade and blow it up and win, they will, Eric.
That's a fact. That's a fact. God.
So we got the Cubs. Is it a 2-0 game to this point, Eric?
It's still, hold on, let me look. Yep, still 2-0. Got one guy on, one guy out. Pete Crow Armstrong. Right. He's kind of had a lackluster wild card series, hasn't he? He hasn't been doing a whole lot.
Let me ask you something as a fan who's sitting home taking part of the day off to watch baseball here, Eric. Let me ask you something strictly as a fan. You've got 3 games going today. Yesterday, late in the day, early evening, whatever have you, Major League Baseball had no problem changing up the times to fit the games in, so one would start in the East Coast prime time, right? You got the Yankees going in the final game with the Red Sox. That should be a dandy. Let me ask you something, Eric. In this situation where you're going to have games, 3 games, winner take all, why did we have a game overlap? I'm trying to work the remote. I couldn't get my split screen working, so I'm going back to the Cubs, and I'm afraid I'll miss something in that final minute of the Cleveland game. And why couldn't they have separated the games by, let's say, an hour to get everybody? You get a chance to refuel, look after the kids, do their homework. I mean, get a meal into you. Why did they do that, Eric, when there was time to play with?
Rob, what's up, Rob? Hey, doing a bang-up job being a commissioner. You think so? Got a question.
He's sucking up already.
What What's going on? What's going on with these start times? Oh, just a big hunk of metal, huh? All right. Well, enough said. Thanks, Rob. Have a good one. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. I don't know why they do that.
Yeah. You can't even call it a TV situation either, Eric. You can't even say it's television because if you're going to roll 2 in the afternoon, you can still separate them, and you can't. It doesn't leave you with a late start in New York. But there was things you could have worked with today. I don't understand how you can have 2 games on television on the same network. Yeah. ESPN is owned by ABC. Why you've got, I mean, if I'm ABC, I'm like, what are you doing to me here? I got one on ABC, one on ESPN. That's not good on my ratings if I'm splitting my fan base.
All they had to do was start the first game at 11, 2 and 5, 3 hours apart between them. I think that seems okay.
Noon, 3 and 6. What's wrong with an 8 o'clock start?
Well, because I'm talking Pacific time as 11, 2 and 5, because you don't want to start a game at 9 o'clock at night in New York. Starting at 8 is okay. There's not an issue there.
Yeah, start at 8 o'clock. Anyway, it was just something I wanted to pose to you that I'm trying to banter back and forth between 2 games that are of crucial interest, and I just didn't see the logic, and I don't think anybody really cares as much as me, but anyway, it is what it is. I'm going to go watch some Chicago Cub baseball. How about you?
Yeah, exactly. Real quick, just look at this box score. Guardians were only able to manage 6 hits. Quan had a hit. Valera had a hit. Ramirez had a hit. Manzardo had nothing. Delauder had a hit. Arias had a hit. And then Rocchio had a hit. Not a whole lot of boppers in there. Riley Green had a hell of a freaking series, batting 364. Carpenter, 400. Baez, 455 for the series. Some guys stepped up, man, and sometimes the story, though, is right here. Sobrowski and Gaddis just gave up way too many runs. You can't give up 4 runs coming out of the bullpen. You just can't do it. And Flaherty, to his credit, went 4 2/3. Walked 2, struck out 4, only gave up 3 hits. Finnegan came in, looked good. Matter of fact, that was a trade deadline acquisition, wasn't it, Finnegan?
Yeah, it was.
Finnegan's
always been – he's been a sleeper of mine, Eric. I thought he would have been a great acquisition for the Giants, but,
Canley came in for 3rd. He's the one that gave up a couple of runs. Well, it was charged to him, but Vest wound up taking one off the chest. Did you see that throw? I don't know what the hell was that guy trying to catch it with his chest. Don't ask me. I don't know what the hell that was all about. Anyways.
Now you see Anthony's talking about the start times. It's football. That's right. And I call BS. I call BS. I'll say the same thing I said to Dan from NorCal over on our hot corner. It's not, who cares? This is our product. It's baseball. The people are going to tune in. You want to watch baseball, you're going to tune in. If you're going to watch football, Eric, it doesn't matter to start. You're going to go watch football.
Yeah.
I should be focus, as Eric would say. Focus on your own product and stop worrying about the other guy. There you go.
What are you going to
do? And as
I
get ready for the Cubs, I have learned something magical today. You're never too old to learn something, and today I learned something. Mad Bum is special, and so are you, Eric. Appreciate doing the show with you.
All right, here we go. Just show you this before you get out of here. Cubs still leading 2-0. We're at the top of the 5th. We will be back very shortly to break down this game. Well, not really break down. Talk about it. Why not? It's fun. It's baseball.
I think I'll
tell you what, though, man, I am looking forward to the last post game of today, man. That one is gonna be a dandy. I'm looking forward to Connolly Early versus Cam. Look, all I got is Schittler. I can't say Schittler. Is it Schittler?
Well, I keep throwing up today. Do you know who Daryl Schittler is?
Do not know.
Hall of Fame Toronto Maple Leaf player in the 1970s and the 80s. Daryl Schittler. Daryl Sittler played with Boreas Salming and Lanny McDonald.
Schittler.
But when you got dude, is that a bad omen when you got a guy named Schittler going in your postseason Game 3 must-win? Is that an omen that you don't want to? Let's see what Tortoro or your buddy there in New York has to say.
Schittler. Just Minx. What's up, buddy? Schlittler.
Think Schlitzbeer. Think Schlitzbeer. Schlittler.
Schlitzbeer. Oh,
Hey!
speaking of Schlitz, hey,
Eric, Boston Red Sox, they're not in any better position with their starting pitching, Eric.
you're talking about Schlitz beer. If you take every other word, what does that spell?
Schlitz beer?
Yeah, if you get Schlitz and you use every other word from the beginning, what does that spell?
I gots to go?
Shit. There you go.
Oh, there you go. I think it was, man, get out of here and go watch some baseball.
All right, let's get that. Let's go see what the hell the Cubs do. I'm rooting for the Cubs. Why not? Why not? They're okay. They're okay. Why not? Looking at
Before we go, what do you think of the pitching, man? I just mentioned, Eric, the Boston Red Sox aren't in much better position. What do you think of that pitching matchup in a deciding game, Eric? Is that where we've come in baseball?
You got a rookie. Now, Cam's not a rookie, but you got this Connolly early who's only thrown, 3 games? I think this is crazy, man. I mean, hey, they got confidence in him. Hey,
you looked at his strikeout totals last night. What did you get, like 19? Come on, Eric. I mean, we're in a deciding game 3, and this is the best you can roll with. I'm sorry, Eric. What has the game become here?
And look, and you're
Watching
telling me
a no-hitter tonight, though, so I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. I'm just saying they don't have a better pitcher for the game 3. I just find that odd that you're going to start a rookie. You're going to start a rookie in an elimination game in New York, of all places. New York.
This is why it's such a detriment to our Giants organization, Eric, that we didn't get in. 3-game series. Webb, Ray, Verlander. We had the meat. Like Arby's. We had the meat.
We have the meats. That's why I've been saying, but they couldn't get it done, unfortunately. Maybe next year. We'll see what happens. Let's get the hell out of here. Guys, go enjoy the Cubs and Padres. We'll be back right after that. Woo!
You've been watching Giant Sports Talk Live with Eric and Glenn, a Northern Lights Entertainment Broadcasting production.